Good evening, East Alabama, and welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We want to welcome you in on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Today we are going to recap all of the action from East Alabama last night. We're going to talk about one local wrestler that has put pen to paper where he will officially wrestle in college. And we have got our second East Alabama baseball and softball rankings. We dropped some preseason rankings when the season started. Now that we're getting into area play, I wanted to update those rankings and give you just a little preview of teams across the state. So we're going to talk about a lot of different teams throughout these rankings, talk about their programs, talk about some key players for these teams so that you get more familiar with these teams that maybe you're not familiar with, that are from maybe not necessarily from this area, but places outside this area as well. Hey, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday. Now, I'm not going to disclose of some information quite yet. You catch that later on. But we have what I would consider a massive interview coming up this Thursday and Friday. It's going to be a two-parter. A massive interview featuring someone that I'm not going to say the name yet. You can check my Facebook page for more on that later. But we have a massive interview coming up that is going to be phenomenal. And so you're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to keep an eye on our East Alabama Now page. And there's going to be more on this, teasing this tomorrow on our East Alabama Now News, which starts at 6:30 p.m. So I want to remind you tonight, check into our East Alabama Now News at 6:30 p.m. for the latest weather. John Holder has that for you. Going to be in the 80s on Thursday, I hear. That's the rumor. Rumor has it. We'll see if John Holder can confirm it or if he'll deny it, but he's going to confirm it. And then Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards bring you your local news. I'm not sure what's happening, but I know we live in Anniston, so something's happening. So they can tell you more on that. And then we'll preview the night ahead when it comes to baseball, softball here in East Alabama. Hey, let's go ahead and get right into the action, starting with yesterday. It was a day of celebration at Piedmont High School as the Piedmont Bulldogs celebrated a couple players that signed. But we're going to go in depth about Mr. Isaac Bailey. Now, you've heard from Isaac Bailey. We've covered Isaac this year. We've interviewed Isaac at the preseason. We talked about him throughout the season. Isaac was a senior wrestler for the Piedmont Bulldogs, arguably one of the leaders of that team. He was a state qualifier. Matter of fact, Isaac Bailey made the state tournament in Huntsville 4 times. So he's a 4-time state qualifier. In his career at Piedmont, he captured 174 wins. That's over 6 years. From 7th grade to his senior year, he had 174 wins. And things may not have necessarily went his way at the state tournament this year. Obviously, Isaac would have liked a better outcome than the one he had. It still was enough to catch Montevallo's head coach Daniel Onby's eyes, needless to say. And so Daniel reached out to Isaac, offered him the opportunity to wrestle in college. And so Isaac will be attending the University of Montevallo. He'll be wrestling for the Falcons. And hey, I got to talk about the Falcons. Only their first year having a wrestling program, and they had 2 wrestlers that qualified for the NCAA, their division championship. I believe it's Division II. So Montevallo already 2 wrestlers. Gabe Hickson-Biles, really, really good, wrestled state champion wrestler in high school. So he's going to be surrounded by some really good wrestlers. So congratulations to Isaac Bailey. And you see him on the left right there with Coach Bragg. And, you know, his assistants, and then you see him on the right there with Coach Bragg. And so great coaching staff at Piedmont, and then, again, just great wrestling. And he's only the first Bailey to wrestle in college. I believe we'll definitely see his younger brother get that opportunity as well. But congratulations to Isaac Bailey on signing to play, or not playing, but signing to wrestle at the University of Montevallo. And we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. They also celebrated some others as well at Piedmont yesterday who signed college scholarships. Usually on our East Alabama Now News, every night we cover local games, but I decided today to do that on the Locker Room. So we're going to talk about baseball and softball action from East Alabama last night. We're going to give you stats and scores and go ahead and get you updated on everything. The biggest game of the evening last night featured the Alexandria Valley Cubs softball team going head-to-head against Oxford, and Presley Slayton pitched a complete game shutout for Alexandria. She allowed only 1 hit to Oxford. So last night, Oxford only had 1 hit. Presley Slayton also tallied 3 walks and 10 strikeouts in the victory. Alyssa Hunt contributed to the Valley Cubs, scoring with a 2-for-3 performance. She had a double, a triple, and 3 RBIs, while Brinley Sparks added another 2-for-3 effort with an RBI. Slayton, the pitcher that pitched a phenomenal game, also hit herself a double, drew a walk, and drove in a run, and Kaylin Crosley managed to get the only lone hit for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Now, one team that has been red hot is Kendall Poe and the Ohatchee Indians. I believe this makes them 13-2 on the season. And yesterday, Ohatchee secured another significant victory. It was non-area 3A versus 3A, and they got a win over Childersburg 13-5. They had 5 players that had 2 hits each. Savannah Reeves, Mackenzie Luna, Brianna Martin, Reese Stewart, and Lexi Thomas all recorded 2 hits in the win. Stewart led the team with 4 RBIs. Luna and Martin both accumulated 3 hits, with Luna smashing a home run and scoring 4 runs, which was the most on the team. Reese crossed the plate 3 times, while Martin scored twice. Childersburg's Madison Brooks went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and a run, while Kelsey Kelly went 2 for 3 with a run as Ohatchee won 13-5. Another game in the area featured Rachel Smith and the Piedmont Bulldogs going head-to-head with Sandrock, and this was a 4-3 game. Piedmont actually trailed this game 3-0 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. So they were down 3-0 down to their last 3 outs when Piedmont rallied to score 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to beat Sandrock 4-3. Kayla Brothers went 2 for 4, contributing 2 RBIs and scoring a run. KC Brothers drove in the Bulldogs' other 2 runs with a hit. Savannah Smith, Amaria Champion, and Kaylin Green each crossed the plate. Savannah Smith pitched a full game. She's going on to college to pitch for Jacksonville State University, but she pitched last night, allowing 6 hits, 1 earned run while striking out 7 batters without issuing a walk. Sandrock's Caitlin St. Clair had a 2 for 4 performance with 2 RBIs. And the final softball game in the area last night featured Coach Munter and the White Plains Wildcats, who were playing at home. They were hosting Southside. The Panthers, well, Layden Arnold smashed a home run for White Plains, but that would not be enough as White Plains suffered a defeat against Southside. You see it right there, 6-2. Sarah Kate Adams led White Plains with 2 hits, while Arnold's solo home run came in the 7th inning. Jovi Marble and Peyton Burrell each secured 2 hits for Southside, with Jalen Allen contributing 3 RBIs and securing the win as the pitcher, as Southside defeated White Plains 6-2. So, again, just a couple games in softball. Let's go ahead and go to baseball action. And the Anniston Bulldogs have 2 wins on the season. How many people thought we would be saying that at the beginning of the season? And the Sacs Wildcats are still winless. Who thought we would be saying that at the beginning of the year? Well, yesterday, Anniston secured a 6-inning victory against Sacs. 6 Bulldogs players recorded 2 hits. They had Adams, Rashad Coleman, James Brown, each had 3 hits. Adams contributed 2 RBIs, and Brown drove in 1 run and scored twice. Dylan Goodson made a significant impact for the Bulldogs with 4 RBIs, going 2 for 4 with a home run and also scoring twice. Aiden Goodson and Parker Nelson also each contributed 2 hits each for the Bulldogs, with Nelson driving in 3 runs. Nelson pitched the first 5 innings, allowing 2 earned runs and 4 walks while striking out 9 batters. Caleb Ackles closed the game, striking out 1 batter. Sacs leadoff batter LaJuan Curry went 2 for 4, while Shannon Noel finished with 2 RBIs. Now, for Coach Kyle Parrish and the Ohatchee Indians, it was not a good night, but it was a great night for Ramburn. Ramburn secured a 6-inning victory against Ohatchee, requiring just 3 hits. Now, you're probably wondering, they only had 3 hits, but they scored 12 runs. Well, Colton Johnson led the charge with 2 hits, going 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a walk. His 2 RBI double in the bottom of the 6th concluded the game. Pitcher Drew Davenport contributed Ramburn's 3rd hit and crossed the plate 3 times, while Carter Lauren scored twice as well. Davenport for Ramburn pitched the entire 6 innings, allowing 5 hits and 1 earned run while walking 1 and striking out 9. Ohatchee's Will Folsom went 2 for 3 with a double and a run and an RBI, while Dylan Ramsey added an RBI of his own. 2 teams met at the Mountain last night, Ohatchee Spring Garden and Donahoe. This is a little bit of a rivalry, although they're not in the same area, but Spring Garden dominated with a 10-run first inning. Spring Garden jumped on them 10-0 in the first inning. Donahoe would outscore them 9-2 the rest of the way, but it wouldn't matter. Those 10 runs in the first inning were enough to hold off a Donahoe comeback attempt. It secured Spring Garden the win, and despite Donahoe scoring 5 runs in the 4th inning and 3 in the 6th, Spring Garden would maintain their lead. Blake Sewell and Hayes Farrell both contributed 2 hits and 2 RBIs each, while Montgomery led the team with 3 RBIs. Kai Kleckler went 2 for 3 with an RBI and crossed the plate 3 times. Spring Gardens catcher Connor Bates had a standout performance, going 2 for 4 with a game-high 4 RBIs, and Bates also scored twice in the game. The only other game in the area last night in baseball featured Faith Christian and Winneboro. And yesterday, Brady Whitworth delivered an impressive performance, striking out 11 batters and only conceding, listen to this, only conceding 3 hits in a 5-inning victory over Winneboro. Whitworth permitted just 1 earned run, walked only 2 batters, and had a strike rate of over 54.7%. That means that he struck out at least more than half his batters. He walked only 2 batters. Additionally, he had a hit and a run. Carson Harrison led the team's offensive charge, going 2 for 4 with a double, amassed 3 RBIs, crossed the plate once, and Toby Rackard contributed 2 RBIs, while Will Smith added 1 of his own. And that is not the actor, for anyone that was wondering. That is Faith Christian's Will Smith. Hey, we're not done talking baseball, because when we come back, we're going to have our latest East Alabama baseball rankings, so I hope you'll stay with us. We continue on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. Steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you The Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston and you can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you The Locker Room. We continue on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Namath Pitts, and I want to thank you for watching The Locker Room. Trying to get our studio, or I guess our locker, I guess you could say, updated. As you can tell, we got the baseball bag in here now. Going to keep trying to get some things added to that, and so just got a beautiful place. I tell you what, that bench is comfortable too. I've had to take a nap on it before, but we're just going to talk baseball. We're going to talk baseball this segment. We're going to talk our East Alabama Now baseball rankings. We did it once in the preseason, and so I figured we would update update things. But this time I don't want to just say, here's my number 5, here's my number 4, my 3, 2, and 1. I actually want to give you some information on some of these teams that you may not be familiar with that we might see when the playoffs roll around, especially with the state championships being right here at Jacksonville State University and right here at Choccolocco Park in Oxford. So let's start in Class 7A today. We're going to work backwards from 7A to 1A. So we're going to start with our Class 7A rankings. Right now, the number 1 team in Namath's East Alabama ranking is Central Phoenix City. Now, Central Phoenix City is in Class 7A Area 4. They were state runner-up a year ago. I would say their depth and balance of the lineup, definitely athleticism, is what makes Central Phoenix City so good. Landon Beavers, their first baseman, is committed to University of Alabama Birmingham, so UAB. Their third baseman, Hunter Whitbert, is committed to Chattahoochee Valley Community College. And then Kason Page and Emery Yon are still uncommitted, but are really good players for Central Phoenix City. So they're number 1 in my ranking. Number 2 is the Huskies of Hewitt-Trussville. Really good team. 3's Thompson, really good team as well. Bob Jones is 4. Coach Jared Smith does a great job with this program. This is a team that made the Elite 8 a year ago. They play in Area 8 in Class 7A. I definitely think Braden Booth, who's going to Mississippi State, and Zach Johnson, who's going to Alabama, are definitely 2 of the best players in the state of Alabama. They're very athletic, very quality, good left-handed hitting for Bob Jones. But outside of Brandon Booth and Zachary Johnson, you got Jacob Pearl, who's going to Montevallo. And then you got a couple guys that are uncommitted that are still really good players for this team. Reese Cato, Gresham Baker, Tanner Hermesh, and Jack Shaw. So really good players for Bob Jones. They come in at number 4. And then number 5 is Derek Irons, Oak Mountain Eagles. They play in Area 6 in Class 7A. They didn't make the postseason last year, but I think they're very much improved. I think they have really good pitching. Nick McCord's headed to Yale after this year. Kevin Jasinski's uncommitted. But then you got Bryson Moorman going to Coastal Alabama, South Community College. You got Peyton Parkinson going to Gadsden State Community College. And then you got Josh Hart and Caleb Hester uncommitted. But Oak Mountain's 5, and so that's my top 5 in Class 7A. Moving on to Class 6A. I don't really need to give them an introduction. You all know about Oxford. You all know about the former state champions a year ago under Wes Brooks, now under the leadership of Travis Jansen. They are a really good team, county champions, led by Carter Johnson, who's currently signed to play for the University of Alabama, although I'm sure the MLB phones will be calling. But not just Carter Johnson. It's R.J. Brooks, Hudson Gilman, Rocco Maniscalco, a lot of other players, Nick Richardson, a lot of really key players for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Obviously, I think their strength is certainly hitting the ball. I think they're also really good defensively, have some solid pitching. But Travis Jansen in year 1, Oxford is number 1 in my Class 6A baseball rankings. Number 2 is Mountain Brook. Anytime you drop from just 7A to 6A, at some point Mountain Brook's been 6A for a little while. It's really just you have an upper hand, a lot more depth. And 6A's got good depth, but you have even more depth. So I think the depth of Mountain Brook is really good. Everybody knows about Hartselle. Hartsel's number 1 in some rankings. They're 3 in mine. William Booth does a great job. They were eliminated in the Elite 8 last year, if I'm not mistaken, to Oxford. They play in Area 14. They have really good defense, really good hitting. Peyton Steele's headed to Alabama. Josie Williamson's headed to Alabama. Cade Miles is going to Jacksonville State. And then Lawson Williams is going to Northwest Shoals Community College along with another one of his teammates. Nick Chumley's going to Lawson State. Brody Leathers is going to Bevel State. So they have a lot of players that are going to play college baseball. So Hartselle is loaded. Probably has a sour taste in their mouth after falling to Oxford a year ago, but they're at number 3. Number 4 is Ryan Keedy in Gardendale. The Rockets play in Area 11 in Class 6A. They were eliminated in the Elite 8 last year. Their strength is definitely experience and definitely offense. Ty McGraw is headed to Troy, so he's a really good player for them, plays first base. He's a pitcher as well. Cooper Jarvis is going to Gadsden State. He's their shortstop. Caden Combs is headed to Auburn. He's third baseman, right-hand pitcher. And then Logan Fitzgerald's going to Bishop State Community College. So a lot of college players as well. And then the final team in my Class 6A rankings is PJ Guy and Helena. They play in Area 5. Got eliminated in the Sweet 16 a year ago. Definitely have some maturity and experience to them as well. Really a lot of team speed. And they have a lot of guys that are going to be good. Braden Kendrick's uncommitted right now. He's a really good third baseman. Jarrett Scott's really good. John Martin Williamson. But you have Braden Dockery. He's committed to Auburn Auburn, but he's a 2026 player, so he's not a senior. But that is our Class 6A rankings. Oxford is at the top. In Class 5A, I'm also going with a local team at top. I'm going with Alexandria. Coach Zach Welch's team, they play in Area 12. Last year, they got eliminated by Arab in the round of the 16, Sweet 16. They returned 7 positional starters. They had 6 pitchers coming back. Pitching's definitely their strength, without doubt. Really good defense and experience. Andrew Allen going to Arkansas State. Trip Patterson headed to North Alabama. Aiden Bruner going to Charleston, West Virginia. Ian Cartwright going to Montevallo. Samuel Henniger going to Wallace Hansville Community College. Evan Snow going to Gaston State Community College. A lot of college pitchers for Alexandria, and they are going to be really good. I think they're going to be the last team standing, so that's why I've got them number 1 in 5A. My number 2 in 5A is Adam Keenum and Boaz. I got the Pirates number 2. They play in Area 13. They were eliminated in the Final Four a year ago, so they made the semifinals. They had 3 returners starting in both positional and pitching. They got really good leadership and offense. A couple guys that aren't committed right now, but Tyler Pierce, 2025 player, Daniel Posey, Elijah Kelly, and Cody McCormick are all really good players for Boaz, and they've started the year off really good. Number 3 is Gulf Shores. I got the Dolphins at 3. Chris Jacks does a good job. They were eliminated in the first round a year ago, but they play in Area 1. And again, really good defense. I got a couple guys that are going to play in some community colleges down south. Connor Gear, Joseph Stevens, Alex Rippey, Alex King, Mac Anderson. Mac Anderson's actually going to Houston, so he's going to be headed to Texas. But really good team. And then I actually threw them in at number 5. They haven't really been getting a ton of buzz, but I like Springville. I like what Coach Ford's done there, playing in Area 11. They were eliminated in the first round a year ago, but again, they got a couple guys that are uncommitted right now, but are still really good players. Carter Samuelson, Cade Willis, and Alex Holland. So I got Springville at 5, but Alexandria leads the charge in my Class 5A rankings. In Class 4A, and I got Bibb County number 1. No surprise here. I think a lot of people think Bibb County is probably the best team in 4A right now. Kevin May, again, has done a really good job putting this program at the top. Matthew Cash is going to go play for Jacksonville State University. Bodie Gideons and Daniel Stringfellow are uncommitted right now. They're 2025 players for Springville, but they've got really good pitching depth, really good offense, and they're going to be a really tough out for anyone. I put corner at 2. Again, Caleb Hull does a good job at corner. They were eliminated in the Sweet 16 a year ago. Brendan Connor's going to UAB. Brody Dunlap's going to UAB. Cole Raspberry's going to Wallace Hansville along with Eli Cannon. So those are a couple guys that lead the charge for corner. Everybody knows about Bayside Academy. Obviously, this is a team that is competitive balance, being a private school, has continued to bump them up, bump them up, bump them up. So they now play in Class 4A, but everybody knows about the Admirals of Bayside Academy. Ken Whittle and Trinity's 4. They were eliminated in the Elite 8 a year ago. Fleming Hall is headed to Auburn. Outfielder Walker McClinton's uncommitted right now, but good players for Trinity. And I actually threw Mumford in at number 5. They were in the top 10, I think, of the prep baseball rankings, but I think they were like 9 or 10. You know what? Mumford is off to a red-hot start. I figured, you know what? I'm going to put them in at number 5 because they beat White Plains, a local team. They got some really good wins to start the year, and so I figured I'd throw the Lions in at number 5 in my 4A rankings, but Bibb County is number 1 in my rankings. In Class 3A, I got Matt Dearman and Piedmont Bulldogs at number 1. They play in Area 9 with Welborn, Sachs, and Weaver. They got eliminated in the Elite 8 a year ago to Decatur Heritage. They brought back 6 positional starters, 6 returning pitchers. I think their pitching depth is definitely their strength. McLean Mohan's headed to Snead State Community College. Kel Austin's uncommitted. Brody Holmesley's uncommitted. Trevor Pike's uncommitted, though sounds as if Trevor Pike's going to go into the Air Force. Cole Wilson's uncommitted, and Cole Austin is a 2028 player that's going to be really good for Matt Dearman's team. So I think Piedmont is going to find a way to get there this year. But if they're going to get there, they're going to have to go through the team that beat them a year ago, which is Decatur Heritage. They're going to have to go through the team that beat them, which is Gordo, who ended up winning 3A a year ago. And then Prattville Christian and St. James are both really good teams out of the Montgomery area that are in there at 4 and 5. But I got Piedmont at number 1 in 3A. In Class 2A, you may not be familiar with the school. You may not have even knew it existed. But Pike Liberal Arts is definitely the best team in 2A at the moment. Will Austin's team's in Area 5. They brought back 5 positional starters, but brought back 8 pitchers. Pitching is their strength. You got Will Rice headed to Wallace Dothan Community College. John Lott's uncommitted. Houston Gunner's uncommitted. Luke Barron's uncommitted. Caden Brookins is uncommitted. And Cole Garrett is a 2027 player. But that shows you the talent that Pike Liberal Arts has. And then number 2, I have Vincent. Timothy Junkin's team was the state runner-up a year ago. And so they brought back 5 pitchers, 7 positional players. Pitching's definitely their strength. Aiden Poe is a pitcher headed to the Air Force. He's a 2025 player. Camden Cobb is uncommitted. Kason Fields is uncommitted. And they have a couple other players that are uncommitted as well. And so, again, Vincent's 2, Pike Liberal Arts is 1. Got Ayrton 3, Tuscaloosa Academy 4, and Lindsay Lane is 5. So that is my 2A rankings right there. Let's move to Class 1A. They got them number 2. They got 1 loss on the year, but I got Appalachian at 1. I like what Coach has done out there, defending state champions. I saw them to start the year. A really good team. And they're going to have to go through a couple teams to get back there. Milry, Floala. Never figured out how to say that. It's Florida, Alabama. You know, it's right there, right on the state line. But either way, they're at 3. But I'll tell you a team that could really bust some brackets. That's Hackleburg. John McKinney's team in Area 14. They got eliminated in the Final Four a year ago in the semifinals. They've got experience. They've got pitching. They've got depth. Aiden Beard's headed to Snead State Community College. They got a couple players that are still uncommitted but are really good players. Blaze Vickery, Jaquan Reeder, Ross Hudson, and Edge Weeks. So Hackleburg's that team that I'd really keep an eye on to kind of be a bracket buster, because they made the semis a year ago, and I could see them getting back to the finals and winning it all. So Hackleburg's 4, and Brantley is 5. And that is my 1A rankings, and that is my East Alabama baseball rankings. That was a lot. I hope you learned a little bit about some teams that you may not have knew anything else about before. When we come back, we're going to have our softball rankings. Probably not as in-depth as my baseball one was. But I did try to add some East Alabama teams to it that I thought were capable of being there. So, hey, don't go away. We'll continue on in just a minute on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down, our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Welcome back into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. Again, I told you guys earlier in the show, but I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also tonight at 6:30 p.m. we'll have our local news. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards. I don't ever know what they're up to, but there's some story out there that's making waves in Anniston. John Holder, we don't know what street he's going to be on, but he'll be somewhere talking about the weather. And then, of course, I bring you the preview of tonight's action for baseball, softball, and soccer. So we do have a lot of action tonight here in East Alabama. Hey, we just talked about our East Alabama Now baseball rankings, so let's go ahead and take a look at our softball rankings. We're going to update those a little bit, make a couple tweaks here and there from our preseason rankings. And we have a couple local teams that crack in the top 5. Some may not think one or two of them deserve to be there, but I think they're going to be in the top 5 when it's said and done. So I went ahead and put them in it. All right, let's start in Class 7A. Just like baseball, Central Phoenix City is number 1. Really, really good program. Hewitt Trustful's 2. The Hoover Bucks are number 3. Fairhope is 4. And the Rebels of Vestavia Hills are 5. But again, right now, still think the best team in Class 7A is Central Phoenix City. In Class 6A, I don't have McKibben's teams there yet. They might get there by the end of the year. Right now, I've got Wetumpka sitting at number 1 in Class 6A. I've got Athens at number 2. Hartselle is number 3. They're ranked in both baseball and softball. 4 is Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, although I will say Hillcrest has 2 L's. So just to let y'all know right there, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa is number 4. And just throwing a little jab at my boss, Ashley, right there. I love her. She does a great job. But number 5 is Helena. And so there's my 6A rankings. You have at number 1, Wetumpka, 2, Athens, 3, Hartselle, 4, Hillcrest Tuscaloosa with 2 L's, and 5, Helena. All right, let's move to Class 5A. In Class 5A, I made a little tweak from our first ranking. I switched Moody and Springville, but I still got those two as the top two teams in 5A. I got Moody number 1, Springville 2, Scottsboro 3, Jasper 4, and Alexandria 5. I threw Coach Hess's team at number 5. They actually played Jasper this past weekend and got beat, so that's, of course, why Jasper's ahead of them. But I do have a local East Alabama team cracking in the top 5 right there with Alexandria at 5. But I got Moody as the number 1 team in Class 5A. In Class 4A, I also threw another East Alabama team in there. Still think Curry's probably the best team in 4A right now. Orange Beach could certainly make some noise. Also, I got to say, every time I say the word Orange Beach when we do a ranking or something, is I just think about how incredible it would be to go to Orange Beach High School. Like, to live at the beach. Like, that would be awesome. But anyway, all right, Orange Beach is 2, Madison County's 3, Geneva's 4, and then right here in East Alabama, I got the Wildcats of White Plains at number 5. I'm throwing Coach Muncher's team in there. Still don't think they've hit their peak yet. I don't think they're playing their best yet, but I think when it's said and done, they will be. I got White Plains at 5. I got Curry 1, Orange Beach 2, Madison County 3, Geneva 4, and White Plains 5. In Class 3A, I made a little switch here too. I moved Plainview out of the 1 spot, moved them to 3, put Ohatchee in at number 5. I think Coach Poe's team start of the season is worthy of being in my top 5. So I got Beulah at number 1, Piedmont at 2, Coach Rachel Smith's team. I moved them up to 2A. 3 is Plainview. I moved them from 1 to 3. 4 is Opp, still in the top 3 or top 5 for me. But I threw Coach Poe's team at number 5. I think they've started the season off really good. I think they're going to make some noise. I really do. I think she's got a really good team, some really good players. We mentioned a couple of those players earlier that have just been really, really good for this team. Obviously, Savannah Reeves, Mackenzie Luna, Brianna Martin, Reese Stewart, Lexi Thomas. You've got Carden, who's going to go play at Gadsden State. So the ceiling for this team is very high. And so Ohatchee's 5, got Piedmont at 2 in our Class 3A rankings. In Class 2A, there he is, Coach Bryant and the Pleasant Valley Raiders. I still got them at number 1. I think they got the team to get it done. I like what Coach Bryant's done at Pleasant Valley. I love the culture he's built. I was running out at their school yesterday, seeing them practicing down on the field. And so we'll definitely be getting more of Pleasant Valley as the season progresses and hopefully talking with Coach Bryant soon. Number 2, Sandrock, coming off a tough loss last night to Piedmont, but Sandrock still got some really, really talented players. Obviously, Caitlin St. Clair's the one that most people know when they think of Sandrock. So I got Sandrock at 2. Wicksburg is 3. Hatton's 4. And Lamar County is 5. But Pleasant Valley is at the top of my 2A rankings. And then finally in Class 1A, Cedar Bluff's the closest you're going to find to us. Still not super close, but Skyline's the top team in 1A right now for me. Leroy is 2. Brantley is 3. Cedar Bluff is 4 and Millery is 5. No Spring Garden, no other local team, but still some really talented teams in Class 1A. So those are our softball rankings for East Alabama. I hope you enjoyed them. Again, they're all rankings, guys. They're made by a guy that is 23 years old and is from Welborn. So you take them what you want them, take them with a grain of salt. I put my heart into it. I do the best I can, but I know some people agree to disagree, and that's okay. It's all fun and just for the fans to see, I guess, as you could say. So, but I've got a massive interview that we are working on, and I'm telling you what, it's coming up later this week, so you need to stay tuned. Tomorrow, join us back here. We'll be talking more East Alabama sports as we continue throughout the week. But other than today, I'm Namath Pitts. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Hit that like and follow button. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow on The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.